He wasn't born into fame, yet there was always a quiet intensity about him, a composed strength and screen magnetism that made viewers pay attention. Gokberk Demirci didn't rush into the Turkish entertainment industry. He built his presence patiently, shaping a career rooted in discipline, emotional control, and steady growth rather than instant hype. You're watching Celebrity Fandom. If you're into deep dives on star journeys, lifestyles, and the real stories behind the spotlight, hit subscribe now and stay tuned for more. Gokberk Demirci was born on October 20th, 1989, in Izmit, Kocaeli, Turkey. Long before recognition and leading roles, he focused on understanding acting as a craft. Instead of chasing visibility, he invested in formal acting education and years of preparation, learning how to convey emotion with restraint and realism. This foundation shaped his calm, grounded on screen style that would later become his signature. His acting journey began with smaller television roles that helped him gain experience and industry awareness. But his real breakthrough came with the role of Yaman Karimli in the daily drama Yamin. The series ran for several seasons and required intense consistency, emotional endurance, and commitment. Through Yamin, Gokberk became a familiar face to millions of viewers in Turkey and abroad, particularly in regions where Turkish dramas built strong international followings. Rather than remaining confined to one type of role, Gokberk steadily expanded his range. He took on a role of Kartal in You See Kiz Cards, a character driven by internal conflict and moral tension. The performance marked a clear shift toward deeper, more realistic storytelling. He later appeared in Kardeşlerim as Kore, further proving his ability to adapt within ensemble casts and emotionally layered narratives. As of 2026, his television drama list includes Yemin, You See Kiz Cards, Kardeşlerim, Hayat Bazın Tatlıdır, and Arka Sıradakiler. Unlike exaggerated online claims, his filmography remains selective and grounded. His movie appearances are limited, reflecting a deliberate focus on strong scripts rather than inflated credit lists often circulated across the internet. Gokberk's approach to roles reflects a long-term mindset. He chooses characters that align with emotional truth and personal growth instead of repeating formulas that guarantee short-term popularity. This balance between visibility and credibility has helped him maintain relevance in an industry where trends shift rapidly. Off-screen, Gokberk's public image is calm and controlled. He avoids unnecessary exposure, keeps his private life protected, and focuses on physical fitness, routine, and mental balance. This structured lifestyle directly supports the consistency seen in his performances. His fashion sense mirrors his personality. Clean, understated, and masculine, he favors classic looks over attention-driven trends. Brand collaborations remain limited and selective, reinforcing an image of authenticity rather than over-commercialization. While his personal life has often been the subject of online speculation, much of it inaccurate, he rarely responds to rumors. He keeps attention centered on his work, professionalism, and ongoing development as an actor. Within the industry, he is known as disciplined, respectful, and deeply focused on understanding his characters from the inside out. By 2026, Gokberk Demirci has earned recognition as a reliable and consistent actor. His estimated net worth reflects steady income from long-running television projects and selective partnerships, built gradually rather than impulsively. What truly sets him apart is restraint. He values realism, studies human behavior, and prioritizes longevity over speed. From early supporting roles to sustained television success, his career reflects patience, control, and quiet confidence. As of 2026, Gokberk Demirci stands as a symbol of understated strength in modern Turkish television. Not loud, not rushed, but built to last. That wraps up today's feature. If you enjoyed this content, like the video and subscribe to Celebrity Fandom for more in-depth celebrity stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. He wasn't born into fame, yet there was always a quiet intensity about him, a mix of restraint, depth, and screen magnetism that naturally drew attention. Burak Deniz didn't rush into the spotlight. He earned his place, shaping a career built on emotional realism and deliberate choices rather than instant stardom. You're watching Celebrity Fandom. If you're into deep dives on star journeys, lifestyles, and the real stories behind the spotlight, hit subscribe now and stay tuned for more. Burak Deniz was born on February 17, 1991, in Istanbul, Turkey. His path toward acting began far from overnight recognition. He studied art history at Çanakkale Ansikiz Mart University, a background that subtly influenced his understanding of character, emotion, and visual storytelling. Acting entered his life not as a shortcut to fame, but as a craft he approached with patience and seriousness. His television journey started with early roles that allowed him to build experience quietly. However, it was his breakthrough role as Murat Sarsılmaz in Aşk Laftan Anlamaz that pushed him into mainstream recognition. The series became a massive success both in Turkey and internationally, showcasing his ability to balance charm, vulnerability, and emotional nuance within a romantic narrative. Rather than staying confined to lighthearted roles, Burak deliberately expanded his range. He took on darker, more psychologically complex characters in projects like Bizim Hikaye, where he portrayed Barış Aktan, a role that demanded emotional restraint and internal conflict. His performance resonated deeply, proving his strength in grounded, socially driven storytelling. His evolution continued with Marasli, where he embodied a hardened former soldier shaped by trauma and loyalty. The role highlighted his ability to carry intensity without exaggeration. Later projects such as Yerim Kalan Askler and Samarin further demonstrated his willingness to explore unconventional narratives and layered personalities. Burak's approach to acting reflects intention. He avoids repetition, choosing roles that challenge him emotionally rather than relying on formulas that guarantee popularity. This balance between mass appeal and artistic depth has helped him remain relevant as audience expectations continue to evolve. Off-screen, his public image remains controlled and understated. He avoids excessive exposure, allowing his work to speak louder than his private life. His lifestyle reflects simplicity and discipline, with a focus on mental clarity, fitness, and personal space. Fashion-wise, Burak Deniz carries a modern, effortless style. Whether attending international events or appearing casually, he favors clean silhouettes and understated confidence, reinforcing an image that feels authentic rather than curated. While his personal relationships have occasionally attracted public attention, he consistently redirects focus toward his professional journey. Within the industry, he is known as focused, respectful, and deeply invested in understanding the psychological layers of his characters. As of 2026, his estimated net worth reflects steady success through television, streaming projects, and selective brand collaborations. More than financial growth, he has built strong credibility as a dependable lead capable of carrying emotionally demanding stories. What sets Burak Deniz apart is restraint. He doesn't chase visibility. He builds presence. His performances rely on silence, expression, and emotional control, qualities that leave a lasting impact rather than instant spectacle. From romantic leads to intense dramatic roles, Burak Deniz's journey is defined by progression, not repetition. His rise reflects discipline, thoughtful choices, and a clear commitment to longevity. As of 2026, Burak Deniz stands as one of Turkish television's most compelling actors, grounded, evolving, and built to endure. That wraps up today's feature. If you enjoyed this content, like the video and subscribe to Celebrity Fandom for more in-depth celebrity stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. He wasn't born into fame, yet there was always a quiet intensity about him, a grounded presence, emotional restraint, and an authenticity that made audiences feel rather than simply watch. Halil Ibrahim Ceyhan didn't rush into Turkish entertainment. He earned his place step by step, shaping a career built on patience, depth, and inner strength. You're watching Celebrity Fandom. If you're into deep dives on star journeys, lifestyles, and the real stories behind the spotlight, hit subscribe now and stay tuned for more. Halil Ibrahim Ceyhan was born on December 13th, 1982, in Sivas, Turkey. Long before television sets and camera lights, his world revolved around music, writing, and self-expression. He showed an early interest in creativity, particularly songwriting and poetry, using music as his first emotional outlet rather than acting. His journey into the entertainment industry began through music competitions and songwriting projects, where he gradually built confidence and artistic discipline. Halil didn't follow a traditional acting path early on. Instead, he spent years refining his emotional awareness and storytelling instincts, skills that would later define his screen performances. His acting breakthrough came with the role of Yaman Karimli in the long-running drama Emanet. The character demanded emotional restraint, moral conflict, and psychological depth, qualities Halil delivered with quiet precision. The series became a massive success, earning him international recognition and a deeply loyal fan base across Turkey, the Middle East, South Asia, and beyond. Rather than relying solely on popularity, Halil focused on emotional realism. His portrayal of Yaman stood out because it avoided exaggeration, favoring silence, controlled expressions, and internal conflict. This approach turned him into a symbol of intense masculinity layered with vulnerability, setting him apart from louder, formula-driven performances. Off-screen, Halil's personality mirrors his on-screen restraint. He maintains a low profile, avoids excessive media exposure, and remains selective about public appearances. Music continues to play a central role in his life, with songwriting serving as both a creative outlet and a personal refuge. Halil's lifestyle reflects simplicity and discipline. He values solitude, structure, and emotional balance, preferring depth over noise. His fashion sense aligns with this mindset, understated, classic, and practical, reinforcing an image rooted in authenticity rather than trends. As his influence expanded internationally, so did his professional credibility. His estimated net worth reflects consistent earnings from television projects, music work, and selective brand collaborations, built gradually through dedication rather than rapid exposure. What truly distinguishes Halil Ibrahim Ceyhan is emotional honesty. He approaches characters from the inside out, drawing on lived experience, introspection, and sensitivity. This depth allows his performances to resonate long after scenes end, creating a lasting connection with viewers. As of 2026, Halil Ibrahim Ceyhan stands as more than a television actor. He represents quiet power, emotional intelligence, and artistic patience in modern Turkish entertainment, a figure whose impact comes not from volume, but from truth. That wraps up today's feature. If you enjoyed this content, like the video and subscribe to Celebrity Fandom for more in-depth celebrity stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.